the challenges of urbanization, from ensuring equitable housing and followed by all kinds of infrastructure to create vibrant and resilient communities. At the School of Planning and Architecture, Vijayawada, we have long-standing tradition of celebrating these important milestone events as they align perfectly with our commitment to education, research, and outreach in the field of urban planning and design. It is through such events that we strive to create awareness and foster discussions about the importance of urban planning and design in shaping our future cities. I would also like to extend a warm welcome to our chief guest for today, Sri Srinivas sir, former head of Metropolitan Planning Town and Country Planning Organization, New Delhi. His invaluable experience and insights in the field of town planning have greatly continued in the development of urban areas in our country, and we honored to have him with us. I must also express my gratitude to our director, Professor Dr. Ramesh Srikonda sir, for his unwavering support and encouragement in pushing for such events with our campus. His visionary leadership has been instrumental in fostering an environment that encourages innovation, collaboration, and excellence in urban planning. As we gather here today, let's here's this moment contemplate the pivotal role of an urban planning in shaping our world we live in and its profound impact of quality of life in our city. I eagerly anticipate our distinguished chief guest insights on the imperative of reforms in urban planning today's lecture, and I encourage all meaningful discussions, share your ideas, and inspire one another to continue work towards creating better and more sustainable and inclusive for all. Once again, a warm welcome to all of you, and let us make the World Town Planning Day celebration at SPAV an event to remember. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your invaluable insights and wisdom with us today. As we progress through this informative event, it's our privilege to introduce our eminent Dean of Academics. Kindly join us in extending a warm welcome to Dr. Ayon Kumar Tarafdar as he shares his insightful address.
Good afternoon, all of you. Right at the start, I would have to convey greetings from the director, Professor Dr. Ramesh Srikonda. Called me hours back, specifically convey to all of you greetings for World Town Planning Day, and particularly he expressed his gratitude to Srinivas ji for coming all the way from Delhi. He was supposed to be here, but because of an urgent meeting called by our own ministry, he coming back tonight. So greetings from him at the start. We know today World Town Planning Day has a theme: learn globally, apply locally. It's an interesting theme, which I think we all keep on doing that in our studios and in classrooms. Look at various papers and case studies across the world and try to apply it in. So this is now acknowledged as a theme. So, and it is true that many of the planning projects and planning case studies which are happening in India is getting recognized abroad. In the same way, many of the tools, techniques used abroad, we are also trying to imbibe. In this journey of learn globally and apply locally, very important is to look at reforms, urban planning or regional planning reforms, which is the spotlight today, which is the theme on which Srinivas ji will speak today. Before I go into that, I again would like to thank him for coming here, and we all are quite fortunate to listen to him today. There are two reasons. One is because of his decades of experience in the field of planning, as a planner, uh, in one of the highest ranks in TCPO in Delhi, working closely with several ministers related to urban development and IAS officers, and actually being instrumental in shaping many of the standards and policies and regulations which we refer. He's a man who's behind all those, and still right after retirement now he's still a senior advisor to Ministry of Urban Development. And not only that, he is very closely associated with all the three SPAs and the IITs in the departments of planning. In SPA Delhi, I think he's a regular visiting faculty. Every semester he goes there, and a very popular faculty amongst the students. So, and here in SPA Vijayawada, we also have a good association with him. Right from the initial years, he's come here as our board members to develop a syllabus before the PG courses started. When we were thinking of which PG course to start and how to frame the syllabus, he was there at important stages. So thank you for coming, and today he'll be sharing from his experience, I think not the academic one, but the experience from the profession, which will probably help us understand how and why urban planning reforms is important to adapt to the changes happening globally. So with that, I would close my thoughts, and I welcome all of you and thank all of you to come listen to him.
Thank you, sir. Your address has indeed been both enriching and inspiring, leaving behind a lasting impact. We now would like to call upon the stage Head of Department Architecture, Dr. Uma Shankar Basina, sir, to enlighten us with few words.
Good afternoon, one and all. Um, um, for the enthusiasm of the Department of Planning in engaging or rather envisioning and making it real a wonderful urban October, as like previous then this context on this World Town Planning Day, getting first sir, would definitely I believe immensely help really further learning horizons, full advantage of.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words and support. It is our utmost honor to welcome Sri R. Srinivas, sir, a 30-year veteran in urban planning, holding a post-graduation in urban and regional planning from IIT Kharagpur, a professional master's in urban planning and management from ITC Netherlands. Notably, he played a pivotal role formulating guidelines 2008 launched scheme for urban infrastructure development, satellite towns, counter magnets of metropolitan cities. With a significant body of work, including over 20 publications, C.R. Srinivasa stands not only as a practitioner but also as a leading authority in the realm of urban planning.
Professor Ramesh, Director S. Adinare, Sir Sir Uma Shankar, Architect. It's an honor actually. It's an honor to be with the students and all the faculty members. I consider myself privileged. I'm involved in the activities, all the space. So today I'll speak on urban planning reform, latest of Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Just to give an background, I don't know how many of you actually saw the text of budget. Find any special in budget? Are you aware of that last year budget? Are you able to listen to Honorable Finance Minister what she said? Any one of you? Any B planner? So the budget speech 2020, first time in the history of entire budget that urban planning was explicitly mentioned. So in that, the thrust was that state should take up the urban planning reform. I'll explain about the urban planning reform. Then behind, hey, why Government of India, Ministry of Housing and Urban take up these reforms and sensitize the state, implement these. Then in the budget speech, it was also mentioned that of Housing and Urban Affairs will support 5 center of excellence. Each center of excellence urban planning will get around as an endowment fund. And these center of excellence will have to really work government as well as state government. So the assessment has been done and results will out. Then enhancement in the allocation. Not that that urban planning reforms, if they take up the states, they are going to get financial. So this is backed by incentives, but of course there are certain riders that if state performs, the states implement the reforms, they will get the money. If they don't perform, if they don't submit, they won't get. So it's all outcome based, it's performance based. So I'll start my presentation. I think you the last row. Azadi ka, Amrit ka. So that's what 50% of the urban population will be residing in how many number of cities and towns? Very difficult to tell. Maybe 10,000 plus. So the most unfortunate part is that we don't have the figures for 2020 yet to be conducted. So we are really struggling that what are the figures available. As per 2011 census, how many cities and towns were there? Any idea? That's my, the introductory slides I will definitely discuss. Wherever I go, I will ask about that how many cities and towns are there or were there in 2011. Any idea? Yes? Cities and towns? Around 7,900 cities and towns. 7,399 precisely. These are the number of towns, and out of that 4,000 odd towns are statutory towns and rest are census towns. Statutory towns, you are all well aware that those towns have got the urban local body. So it's a huge, 50% of the total population in 2051, say 2051 census conduct, it will be around 80 crore. 80 crore or 800 million people are going to reside in 10,000 plus cities. So how we are going to ensure the basic amenities, urban infrastructure 10,000 plus, it will be a huge, huge challenge. So that's why, the orderly development is of critical importance. This has been mentioned in the budget test. And while realizing the country's economic potential, including livelihood opportunities for the demographic dividend, how everybody is aware of the contribution of cities and towns to the country's GDP. How much it is in quote? Say around 65%. By 2031, three-fourths of the contribution from the urban areas will be to the total GDP, around 75%. So, if you are creating, if these cities are the generators of economic hub, the biggest challenge will be how you are going to and development that everybody is aware of. Now, how mega cities and hinterlands, Ayanda was mentioning about the regional plan, whether these urban planning reforms also speak of regional plan, that also has to be explicitly. It has not been mentioned about the regional plan, but the moment you talk about mega cities or even metropolitan cities, we want that every metropolitan city have a region. Every metropolitan city should delineate its metropolitan region. To kindly visualize, if you delineate a metropolitan region of how many metropolitan cities we have, 53 million plus cities or metropolitan cities. If every million plus cities delineate its metropolitan region and put on the map, just see how much geographical area of the country, how the decentralization of economic activities will start once you delineate. But right now, two cities have delineated their metropolitan region. They have the metropolitan region. The latest one is CMDA, Chennai Metropolitan Development Authority. They have increased their jurisdiction to 5,000 square kilometer, and accordingly, they are going for. Of course, they are saying they are going for latest master plan, but I have advised them that better to a metropolitan plan. So it's important that lot of cities at 2021 census, lot of cities have more than 5 billion population. So definitely the focus will have to be there to prepare a metropolitan region plan. Now again, once you talk about huge hinterland, the role of tier 2 and tier 3 cities also becomes very important. Why it becomes important? What were the experiences in COVID? What happened in COVID? Lockdown. So there was a concept called where you were working in COVID. Work from home. So now work from home to work from anywhere. If all the urban settlements, if all the gram panchayats are connected with the optic fiber, absolutely there will be. If you have a very high speed visual and the audio visual data transfer, I think you can work from it. So that's why when you have a IT, have certain cities becoming the hub of IT. Why not tier 2 and 3? There is a work from anywhere concept. You can work from anywhere provided you have got very fast connectivity. So this tier 2 and 3 or what we can say small and medium towns also have got will have a huge impact, and with the competitive real estate prices, I mean rather relatively less prices on the real estate, this tier 2 can also see lot of growth in future. Now, of course, you need to reimagine our cities into centers of sustainable living with the opportunities for all, including women and youth. Gender sensitivity, and how youth can really play an important role in country's economic development with a lot of the what we can say the kaushal, that kaushal because skill upgradation. So that is the what Honorable Prime Minister is also insisting on, skill upgradation for the youth. Can we go to the next slide, please? Now, just previous. So there is a very good statement that urban planning cannot continue with business as usual approach. We plan to steer a paradigm change. Now, how this paradigm change will take place, that has to be seen. This is perhaps some of the sentences framed by me also when we were giving the draft text to the finance minister. Some of the sentences were drafted by me. Next, please. This is a letter. This is a letter during 2022 budget. 6,000 crores rupees were allocated for undertaking the urban planning reforms. In 2023-24, the based on the response of the state government, the allocation has been increased to 15,000 crores to implement these urban planning reforms. Next, please. I have been given only 30 minutes. I have to accordingly manage. So for implementing the reforms, first of all, I have to tell about the reforms. I'll come to the next slide. So these were the three groups according to the proportion of urban population. They have been categorized. These are all large states. Group 1 are all large states. Group 2 is the relatively smaller state, and Group 3 is mostly the northeast states. So these were categorized. Now, next slide, please. So the guidelines were prepared in consultation with Ministry of Finance, and they were released in 19 June 2023. These are the latest guidelines. I think you go to the next. Next slide, please. This is the release of installment. I need not explain this. Next slide, please. Now we come to reforms. So what are these reforms? Augmentation of human resources for strengthening urban planning ecosystem. What do you mean? How we are going to augment the human resources? Can anybody tell? Implementation of town planning scheme and land pooling scheme. This is the second reform. Third is modernization of building bylaws. How you are going to modernize. I'll explain each and every reform. Promoting affordable housing and in-situ rehabilitation. Then we have a TOD, Transit-Oriented Development for Densification and Ease of Mobility. Transferable development rights as a planning tool. Strengthening natural ecosystems of urban areas through urban planning. Then integrating essential components in master plans. So these are all reforms. They are also very, you can take this topic. Those who are in third semester, I don't know whether you have to really prepare a research paper in third semester, research paper or thesis topic. You can always take up one of the topic, because these are all reforms that have to be implemented by all the three category states. Next, can we move to the next slide, please? Next slide. Yes, next. Now, what is this augmentation of human resources for urban planning system? Kindly see A, B, C, A1 and A2. Just see sanction of posts of planners, which include some of the professionals like hydrologists, geologists, environmental planner, economists, transport and mobility planners. Completion of recruitment of at least 50% of 50% of vacant posts already sanctioned on regular basis. So, if the state government take steps, fill up the post, 50% of the post, the group 1, you said a group 1, group 3, initially I have shown that if they fill up the post, they can get 100 crore rupees. Huge amount of money is available, 100 crore rupees. Group 2 state 75 crore, Group 3 50 crore. Now what happens, the recruitment, because for you people, after M plan, lot of people will aspire for government jobs. Invariably, whenever the Public Service Commission advertise, you get huge number of applications. So in the town and city planning organization, prior to retirement, almost for the past 5 to 10 years, I was involved in the recruitment rules, handling of the recruitment rules, wherein we used to advise all the state government that you have to follow the model town and country planning organization recruitment rules, wherein the state need to deploy or employ only qualified town planners. Now some of the state, what they do, for a assistant town planner post or assistant director procurement town planning, they will say B Arch or B Civil with M plan. B Arch, B Civil with M plan. So where the B planner will go? How many of you are B planner? That's a matter of concern. That's a matter of concern. The moment if they say BR's B plan and followed by M plan, where the B planner will go. 4 years you have done, and again, if some of you go for M plan, so B plan plus M plan is 4 plus 2, 6 years. So all of a sudden, when your application is scrutinized, then they will say you are not eligible because you don't have BR and B civil. So that's an important point. Because my interest in academics started with B plan only because I started teaching to the B planners in SPA Delhi, and a lot of B planners have become also activists, planners activists. So they are actually doing a lot of writing to the state government, and with my efforts, which because we used to circulate our model recruitment rules, and with my team effort, we were able to convince 15 state governments wherein they have incorporated the E-plan qualification for the post of assistant town planner. Now some of the states, they prescribe qualification for planning assistant, which we feel that for planning assistant, let the old should, like diploma in architecture or civil engineer, should be eligible for planning post. But now for planning assistant also, like agency organization called DDA, they have prescribed bachelor's in architectural planning. Now here also there is a, for architectural assistant, a B planner is not eligible. But for planning assistant, a B arch is also eligible. So why B planner should get discriminated? That has to be. What in our professional terms we call that B planners are the real planners. The architects, engineers, or social scientists, they come only for 2 years. But the 4 years of rigorous training, actually they are made, the real planners. But you can debate on that. Now, again, states also, like मेरा बाल सफेद हो गया बोल के states को, you please fill up the vacancies. When we compiled the data for all the states, it was found 50% of the town planners posts were vacant. Some of the states have not recruited the planners for almost 20 years. Now let me give some example. Tripura has got only 3 planners. Uttarakhand also has got 3 planners. Uttar Pradesh, hardly 10 to 15 planners are there for a huge state. But some of the states like Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, they have completed their recruitment process, but they have filled up the post. But if you see, but still we have been able to give certain reform, this norms that 5 urban planners should be in 4 million plus cities, 3 urban planners. Of course, this, how many of you have seen the Niti Aayog report on urban planning capacity reform? Please download that report. Just for your, information, urban planning capacity. Just Niti Aayog report on urban planning. To Google search, you can download. Please write. Everyone, you should write and you should go through that report. It has actually given that how much planners would be required. Now, if I calculate as per the number of cities and towns, 7,933 cities and towns. If I calculate based on this reform, it will almost the requirement would be 62,000 planners we will be requiring. And how many planners actually pass out? We have around 71 institutions offering planning course, both UG and PG. And around what we based on the allocation of seats, we have estimated that around 1,000 to 1,100 planners actually pass out every year. So India is not competent enough to absorb each and every planner. Of course, you can have very good, placement. The placement coordinator should work hard and should have, good interaction with all the concerned firms, and so that they can come for placement. But these are all matter of concern. But here, ministry is encouraging the state. You do this and you take the money. And if the recruitment is painful process, because agar advertisement aata hai, it takes almost 1 year to you appear in the entrance exam, you wait for interviews are over, and then you get the appointment order. It may take 1 year. It's quite slow process. So if the selection or the appointment of planners is a slow process, So even the states have been given freedom to hire on contract basis. अब देख लो group one for 1 crore incentive for hiring one planner. So if they hire 50 planners, 50 crores you take. So these are all financial incentives. And you are hire if you are not able to hire the planners, then you go for outsourcing. Strong collaboration with private expertise. So the states are given liberty or freedom to go for bid process and get the work done through hired expertise. There are a number of consultant firms who are actually guiding the states for preparing the master plan, GIS based master plan. And in fact, for this also, now these are the reforms. What we came to know that states are not able to really understand the nitty gritty of these reforms and how to implement these reforms. They want private consultants. Tell you next. Now this is, I think in the morning we were discussing that Indore group. Where is that Indore group? Yeah. So we were discussing about this local area plan and town planning scheme. Now, what is the genesis of this lab TPS? What happened in smart cities? I think the other side you are able to hear me, or I should come sometime here also, perhaps. You are able to hear me, no? Okay, good. So what happened under the smart cities? There was an area-based strategy, wherein under the area-based strategy, both brownfield and greenfield sites have to be identified for undertaking this local area plan and town planning scheme. Local area plan essentially is for the brownfield, whereas the town planning scheme, you can go for a greenfield development in the fringe areas of cities and towns. Now, this is very much interesting because we really worked hard. We had one sub scheme called formulation of local area plan and town planning scheme, wherein we have started giving. There were 25 cities were selected. Each city got 2 crore rupees for preparing the plan. But they will have to leverage all the technologies. If they can go for drone-based mapping, let them go and spend 2 crore rupees only for preparing this local area plan, not for the master plan. For master plan, GIS-based master plan, you get 90 lakh rupees. Here we were so liberal, we gave 2 crore rupees. So now the point is that how the bottom approach, what we were discussing about the indoor, what is the theme of this World Town Planning Day? Think global, act locally. Now this local area plan and town planning scheme, actually it gives an opportunity wherein you can have an intense stakeholder consultation at the local level. For local area plan, you can delineate, you can have 4 or 5 wards and you can delineate a local area. And accordingly, you can, you can map those areas which are conducive for redevelopment, which are conducive for retrofitting. These are the two components of the local area plan. But only thing is that the redevelopment, it's a difficult task. It's not easy until unless you discuss with the property owners and landowners, wherein you have to convince that if you go for redevelopment, it will be a sort of a win-win situation where once you go for redevelopment, you ensure plan development, you ensure all the access to the basic facilities, and accordingly the land prices appreciates. This is also for the town planning scheme where through land pooling, you go for plot reconstitution and then give all the benefits. The moment the owner agrees, an owner surrenders certain proportion of land and then you reconstitute the plots and give the benefits. Maybe you can give the benefit in terms of, depending on the, the surrendering of land, you can offer incentive in terms of higher FSI. So this is also very ideal. Here also, now what happened when we were actually, advocating for lab TPS, we found that a lot of states do not have any provision of preparing the local area plan and town planning scheme. A city like Delhi, they prepare 33 local area plans. बहुत discussion हुआ, SP Delhi also got assignment, lot of discussion, बुलाया, ward councillors were called, citizen resident welfare associations, this one, community building organizations, all were called. बहुत discussion हुआ. Ultimately, when what is the next step? Once you prepare a plan, what is the next step? आप एक ने draft plan बना दिया. What is the next step? हाँ? हाँ? Correct, exactly correct. वो सबको पता है, बोल नहीं रहे. The next step is to invite objection suggestions. After detailed deliberations, सब देख लिया आपने, then you'll have to up for final approval. Once it is approved, then it is as per the provision of the either Town and Country Planning Act, Delhi Development, any Development Authority Act. Now, what happened? The local area plan was prepared, but there was no provision of notifying the even the notifying of local area plan for inviting objection sessions, not to talk about the final notification. So, since there was no provision in the Delhi Development Authority Act for preparing the local area plan, it remained in shelf. All 33 local area plans remained in shelf. Now students, they use for that reference, but it was not at all operationalized. So once you notify the plan, and then only the plan gets operational. Now this is here also you have the incentives. If even if there is no legal framework, you get 150 crore. Now state should revisit their Town and Country Planning Act, put the provision of all the preparation of all the plans. As per the hierarchy, metropolitan region plan, master plan or development plan, zonal development plan, and then local area plan. So these all provisions have to be incorporated in the Town and Country Planning Act. But based on this, because last year also this was a reform, lot of states have initiated. Latest is Tamil Nadu Town and Country Planning Act, which has been thoroughly revisited, and the provision of preparing the local area plan and town planning scheme have been incorporated. So incentives are there. States with legal framework in place have sufficient experience in, so they get 25 crores. But to begin with, the state should notify, rather amend their TCP Act to incorporate the provision of local area plan town planning scheme and get 150 crores. Just to incorporate the provision, you get so much of money. Next, please. Next. Now, this also gives an opportunity to state to work on their town planning policy. Now, this is a township policy rather. Now, is there any national urbanization policy? कोई national urbanization policy है? Is there any national urbanization policy? Is there any state urbanization policy? Can you give an example? Any national urbanization policy? Is there any national urbanization policy? There was an attempt. There was an attempt to have a national urbanization policy way back in 1988. At that time, the planners were so active. Daily SPA, daily they used to have workshop. Oh, there is a national commission on urbanization. Government of India, thankfully, I mean, our visionary ex-prime minister, late honorable Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi. He had a vision, and he actually he was instrumental in constructing National Commission on Urbanization. I don't know whether SPA library has got the reports of that. They were excellent reports and written beautifully. Enjoy reading those reports. When I was a student, I used to read all those texts. Now, what happened? Constitutionally speaking, what is the status of urban planning or urban development per se? कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में क्या बोला गया, अर्बन प्लानिंग को क्या बोला गया और अर्बन डेवलपमेंट को क्या बोला गया? Essentially, is it a central government subject or is it a state subject? It's a state subject. So the Commission on Urbanization, National Commission on Urbanization, was headed by Charles Corey, late Charles Corey. He headed that commission with a lot of members who had diverse background in urban development. The report was prepared, circulated, but there were no takers. None of the state government followed even a single recommendation. Why? Because these kind of reports can only be advisory from Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Whatever we prepare policy or guidelines, these are all advisory. Ultimately, state governments have to adopt as per their conditions, local conditions. But none of the state government really complied with the recommendations of NCO and detailed analysis that identified map generators of economic momentum, gems and spurs. You can get copy should read that. But because I mean urban planning is state subject, no state really adopted the recommendations of that report. Now, here what this is an opportunity. We had a lot of discussion. We also had a national urbanization policy framework. Please write down NUPF, National Urbanization Policy Framework. The moment you search Google, you'll get the entire report. So, based on the experience of the first National Commission on Urbanization, central government never thought of constituting the second Commission on Urbanization. In fact, I worked hard. We used to get directions. You know, in 2013-14, ministry used to ask, please prepare the terms of reference. I prepared the terms of reference. I also suggested who should be the member, who should be the chairman. But ultimately, no decision was taken because state government, they were reluctant to have the National Commission on Urbanization. They said we will have our own. So in 2018, we came up, or rather, Housing and Urban Affairs came up with the National Urbanization Policy Framework. NUPF, please download that report. It's available in NIU website. So there, what ministry decided that it should be only an advisory document. They have prescribed some sutras, 10 sutras. What should, I mean, how city should grow, what could be the growth pattern in the metropolitan perspective, how city should become the self-sustainable entity. A lot of sutras were prescribed, and it was decided that this will be an advisory document. It will be a sort of a template wherein state can refer this document and can have their own urbanization policy. Now, how many states have actually have the urbanization policy? Any idea? How many states have come up with their own urbanization policy? In fact, two states had attempted. One was Karnataka and another was Rajasthan. But again, the report remained advisory. But the latest one, Government of Kerala has constituted a committee to work on state urbanization policy. If Kerala can done, I think it should be a role model to the other states where they can have their own policy. So this, now, rather than having an urbanization policy, what we have prescribed that the state come up with their township policy. So they should clearly highlight what should be the how they foresee the urbanization in next 20 years. Those things should come. Whether you go for redeveloping the existing city or you can go for new greenfield township. It depends, at the same time, you also have to ensure that there should not be conversion of fertile land. Not that you keep on acquiring the land and township after township you go and plant. So here township policy, even if they if they notify, they get 50 crores. If they policy under implement, if they prepare, notify and implement, they get 100 crores. So every state, if they come up with the township policy, they are going to get funded. ये policy बनाना है, policy बनाने के बाद उसको implement करना है. You have to implement that. If they demonstrate, take the money. Now, acquiring land for roads using urban planning. This is also, once you go for, once city expands, what is the critical factor? How you ensure, because your assignments through your studio, you must have observed that the moment you start moving out of the city, you will see a lot of fringe areas actually subjected to organic growth. Now, virtually there is no enforcement. Private developers, they come, they may negotiate with the farmers and they have their own layouts. And then, the building comes up, and then city authorities, then if they say that the buildings have been constructed in violation or in contravention of rules, there is no layout plan, and then still building plan, because building has come. Because building plan always have to be approved if they are referred to the layout plan, where in the layout plan where your buildings is there. So here also, what has happened, even if you go for town, when the city expands, if you ensure roads, you acquire land for the roads, and then accordingly you go for land pooling or town planning scheme. Now this is also a very good topic. In Gujarat, which is one of the successful states where they have implemented the town planning scheme. In Delhi also, we call it as a land pooling scheme. Everything is prepared, but it is yet to take off. Now this becomes a very good thesis topic. Like you can say town planning scheme, a case study of Gujarat and Delhi. You compare why Gujarat is successful or why Delhi is not been able to do. In Gujarat case, in the town planning scheme, there is more pronounced role of government agencies, whereas in Delhi Development Authority, in their land pooling scheme, they have given role to the private developer, a developer entity. He will negotiate with the owners and he will assemble the land or reconstitute the plots. So this is, those who are in third semester, please give a thought to this, that would like to take a thesis topic. Next, please. Now, what do you mean by modernization of building bylaws? This has also become a very, what do you mean by efficient land use? What is how you will say that this city has got an efficient land use? How you can tell that? कुछ तो बोलो यार मैं थोड़ा सा I feel bored that if I keep on I need some feedback from you like or whatever but how you will define a city has got an efficient land use? Do you think that by removing the setback conditions will you have more land under the public realm? Say for example commercial properties. Let us take an example of commercial properties. If the commercial properties are abutting the arterial road or sub-arterial road and you don't have a setback conditions, the properties are abutted on the road. So if you have setbacks or if you remove the setback conditions, will it provide space for pedestrian, space for cycle? That's a matter of research. these were all the removing the removing contradiction with respect to margin and ground coverage, differential building bylaws for promotion of affordable housing, revenue generation through enhanced FSI, innovative provision like in situ redevelopment. Now this is a matter of research. If you compare the land uses of Indian cities and European cities, I have not quoted any example, but this is, you see, the European cities, what we call, they have got a very efficient land use. Whereas in Indian cities, the cities suffer from urban sprawl and that's why they have inefficient land use. Now, how you will compare? Find out how much public space, the percentage of land under the public space. Public realm, rather public realm. In the public realm, you can have land under open spaces, you can have land under open green, you can have land under how much land is actually contributed towards ensuring the pedestrian and cycle tracks. So the moment you ensure the first and last mile connectivity, your land use tend to be efficient, which will actually lead to more dependence on the public transport. To ensure this first and last mile connectivity, the dependence on private vehicles come to those who are transport planning. I mean, this is not a new thing. Who are in second, third semester, they are all aware of that. But again, efficiency of land use, how you will ensure once you have a compact city development rather than having the urban sprawl. But this is also a matter of research. Somebody can really take a research on this or thesis topic that by removing the contradiction of building bylaw, what are the contradiction of present building bylaws and how you will remove and how you can actually ensure efficient land use. That is a also topic where you can do lot of, then identify certain stretch of a city and find out if I remove the this one setbacks, I will have more land under this public realm. So it's a matter of research, and of course now what is going on. Latest thinking that transport planners are very well aware of the transit oriented development. Now you are aware of that recently the Rapidex was the rapid rail transit on Delhi Meerut that has been introduced, wherein now the 17 kilometers are operational from I think Ghaziabad to there is a station called Duhai. So all of a sudden, there will be an impact. Now under that state, most of the states are actually going for TOD policies where they are prescribing higher FSI along the transit corridor. Now it's also a matter of research. Now what happened, you are all aware, Government of India has taken a decision that every million plus cities can go for metro rail. Okay. Now, this is also matter of research in in India. What has happened? The metro rails have come, or the metro corridors have been identified when the city has already reached to a saturation point. Now, what do we do? At one, I mean, in the metropolitan region perspective, we say that you need to have a decentralization of the economic activities. But here, the moment you bring in TOD, where you will have along the transit corridor, you have the provision of mixed use, will it lead to centralization of economic activity? Or I mean, that is a matter of research. Because in a lot of DDA meeting, I used to say that actually you are going against the concept of NCR, wherein you are actually, intensifying the land use along the transit corridor. So you will have enhanced density. You will have to you go for enhanced FSI. You are again leading to a lot of concentration of economic activities when you ensure mixed land use. I mean, this is a matter of debate. I mean, it has to be backed by a research. So that has to be seen. And of course, lot of, I mean, within the building, but here also you have, if you, as per these, conditions, if state government take the steps, they get the incentive, 75 crore rupees, if provision is not in place. If you amend the bylaws, then you get the incentives. Now, special building bylaws for hill areas with focus on, more of a, the conservation issues, because lot of hill areas, you are aware that they are all in seismic zone 4 or 5, or 4 is the highest. So there also, there are no specific bylaws. So state has got the bylaws, but somewhere specific bylaws for hill areas also have to be seen. Also, PSN Rao, under his chairman, if they have prepared the model guidelines for hill states, which the hill states, that has been done by Niti Aayog, and they have submitted the report, and shortly the report will be released. Next, please. So this is also very much important. Now, promoting in situ slum rehabilitation. Is it possible that wherever the slums are, I mean, you can map the slums. Is it possible that every slum can be in situ rehabilitation can take possible? Hmm? In situ slum rehabilitation, is it possible or not? जहाँ पे भी slums हैं, you ensure, you tell them that the area will be surveyed, go for redevelopment. Within that area, ensure transit accommodation for slum dwellers for some time till the dwelling units are completed. This happens in Gujarat. Gujarat, under the smart city Ahmedabad, they have identified one slum. Anybody is from Gujarat or Ahmedabad? One slum they have identified under the area-based strategy. What they have done, they have convinced the slum. I mean, they have undertaken the survey, and what survey they have asked the slum dwellers that do you want to have a redevelopment here only? I mean, they will be given some sort of a transit, I mean, temporary accommodation till the dwelling units are constructed, and the dwelling units are given free of cost. So 80% of the slum dwellers, they agreed that we will shift temporarily, and that alternative accommodation will be arranged, temporary accommodation will be arranged, and then once the dwelling units are completed, they will come back, and it is free of cost. So every slum dwellers get 3 square feet of house with they get free of cost. Now your question should be how, why, and that is also done through private sector participation. Private developers are then why a private developer will come if he has to maximize the profit? So uska kya, what is, why a private developer should come for a slum in situ slum rehabilitation? Huh? हाँ, क्या है ना कि like they have incentivized in Ahmedabad, they have incentivized that around 25% of the built up space, whatever he generates, can be commercially exploited. So that can be used for, 25% of the built space can be leased out to the shops, whatever commercial uses. Now, huh? Yes, sir. That is under PMAY. I am telling about the efforts of Municipal Corporation of Ahmedabad. Now 20% of the slum dwellers, they didn't agree. They said that we will not. We will be here only. We don't want any pakka structure. So what was the reason for that? 80% they agreed, but 20% said no, no, we don't want any rehabilitation. We want to. We are happy with it. The reason was that 20% of the people had workspace there itself. So it was a huge. I mean, you need to have a design intervention. If a scrap dealer is there, if a motor mechanic is there, if any person, I mean, doing the petty works, if he is having the workspace there itself, then once you are designing the entire, I mean, once you are preparing a layout and when you are going for a design, you will have to design workspace. Can be ground floor or can be somewhere dedicated space. Have to be worked out so that you can give him on a lease, sort of a lease, and at a very nominal rent you can the authorities can really think of. So this is very much important. Of course, if the state government wants to have funds, they have to do the notification of registered slum. I mean, there are notified slums. They have to register and then they have to get the money if they are going for redevelopment. And then listing of beneficiaries and number of dollars. That's very much important. So you have to decide. The moment if you notify slums are there, the moment if you start listing of beneficiaries, all of a sudden you say there today there are 5,000. All of a sudden that 1,000 people have also been added. So this has to be done very meticulously, where you need the biometric details. You also need to take that details since when they are actually residing in the slums. So again, awarding the tender for redevelopment of slums, shifting of to slum dwellers to temporary houses, all this, you have funds for that. Next, please. So I mentioned that, and of lot of interest about the transit-oriented development. Uh, Invariably, it has been decided. Once the cities are going for any, whether it is BRTS or RRTS or MRTS, invariably they will have to go for transit-oriented. And states are being encouraged to prepare TOD. We have a national TOD policy. Wo hai. I was telling them that national urbanization policy never was. But the national TOD policy, based on that, the state governments have come their own respective TOD policy. So if they have a TOD policy, they can get 10 crores. If they have a differential building bonus for densification and mixed use, then also they will get 10 crores. Notify the corridors. Notify the corridors for intensification of land uses. So once you are going for TOD, invariably you have to ensure the provision of mixed land use regulations. Then you need to prepare if you want to densify the corridors, how you will densify the corridors? Prepare local area plan for densification of corridors. How it is possible when you have a transit nodes for every station, you are actually. I will also get sleep. Okay, you can sleep, but you should at least listen. This is the common. In morning tomorrow 9 o'clock I will have a class. Hardly 5 out of 35, 5 students turn up. So 9 o'clock, 9, 10, 9, 20, 9:30. Sir, may I come in? Please come. So half the class will be sleeping. That is planning technique class. So somehow, at least people have started laughing. I feel very happy. So it happens, Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. But the person who is speaking side, he thinks that the lecture is becoming boring and people are actually started sleeping. Doesn't matter, but you can sleep, but you can at least open your ear. Just listen. Because this is very much important, conducting for our young professionals. I am assisting high level committee. So we asked, are you aware of Niti Aayog report on urban planning? Are you aware of this high level committee? None of the students, the two ladies who were selected, they could give the answer. And Niti Aayog is also, it's a prestigious, institution where lot of now with lot of efforts, I force them, you take planners, why you are taking MA economics and MBS? You please take planners. Now they have started, lot of my students are there. वो मैं फ़ोन कर देता हूँ कि यार कुछ भी करो ले उनको, वो हो जाता है. somehow it clicks. Sometimes it clicks, but वो हो गया click. Because in smart city fellows, I don't know whether you are aware, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs used to give advertisement for smart city fellows, very prestigious, around 60 to 70,000 rupees. तो उसमें मैं selection committee I was there. So I used to ensure that to the maximum I must select planners. And the chairman of selection committee, why यार ये planners? मैंने कहा sir, a planner can do the task of an MBA, but an MBA cannot do the task of planner. ये मैं हर क्लास में बोलता हूँ, हर जगह बोलता हूँ. So that is true, absolutely true. You know, I was so agitated. You know, I was nominated as director to the board of directors of Smart City Ahmedabad. So there again, that's PwC, Deloitte, all they are coming. I said, wait, तुम्हें understand? Can you tell me about land use? Sir, we are more interested in MIS. अरे भाई MIS छोड़ो यार, पहले the very first meeting of Smart City was, there is an apex committee. The very first meeting, I was agitated. So I wanted to raise hand, but they were not allowing me. So I said, sir, can you give me some time to speak? So you are from that, at that time the secretary was new. So he said, you TCP हो ना, town planning ना. अरे बोलते बहुत हो यार, you speak too much. That was the answer. I said, please give me 1 minute, I will tell. Said, cannot ensure plan development, there is no question of smart. अगर आपका plan development, if half of the city is organically developed, what sort of smart cities you will ensure? The impact क्या हुआ? That fellow could see that I am very much agitated, and some of the states were saying, yeah, you are going against the 74th Constitutional Amendment Act, because 74th Constitutional Amendment Act gave all the powers to local body, and the local body is not there. They have established SPV for every smart city. Then secretary said, no, it has been approved by cabinet, nothing doing. SPV will be there. But so ठीक है, SPV is there, but SPV without urban local body cannot work. So Ahmedabad is one of the progressive cities. I could get lot of information, lot of experience I could gather from interaction with the Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation. So there also I used to shout, why you are not taking planners? Now it depends on us, our planning fraternity, how we should do our outreach, depends how we develop ourselves, depends how we are visible. Very much important. जितना visible होगे उतना आपको ज़्यादा फायदा पहुँचेगा. That's all. Otherwise, unfortunately, the government organization like called Town and Country Planning Department, they're all subordinate organizations. So they have to virtually work as per the direction of the bureaucrats who is sitting IS, who is either he is a municipal commissioner or he is the, some of the states, we don't have chief town planner. Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, for that matter Tamil Nadu, there is no direct. I remember 30 years ago we used to have a director town planning, Tamil Nadu. He used to be qualified town planner, and that post has been Puducherry also. That post has been now is being held by IS. Similarly happened 2 states, Odisha, Jammu Kashmir. Jammu Kashmir chief town planner he was my actually batchmate. He got retired, I also retired, and he was replaced by an administrative Jammu Kashmir administrative services officer. And the person who was supposed to get promotion, he got agitated and he went to court. So that's what. And similarly in Odisha also happened, the chief town planner was replaced by an administrative officer. Now in our professional circle we are discussing what is this. No, it depends on whosoever the heading the organization. He has to be very थोड़ा डिप्लोमेटिक भी होना पड़ता है. ब्यूरोक्रेट्स को, यहाँ तो कोई ब्यूरोक्रेट नहीं है, so I can tell that when you want to get the work done from bureaucrat, गधे को भी बाप बनाओगे. But I was unsuccessful in one task because I prepared a bill called Town and Country Planner Bill draft on the lines of all this advocate bill, Council of Architecture bill, act. Uske on that lines I prepared that. I tried my best. I gave a number of time presentation, but it has gone. It has been late to the rest. I don't know when it will get revived. So if that had become the reality, in fact, it was discussed in Parliament also. Finance Minister wrote also something on that, and in fact, even our minister also went through. I mean, he read that thing, but no decision was taken. had that become, if this that becomes a reality, a bill is converted into a Town and Country Planners Act, it will ensure that whether it is in private sector or government sector, only qualified planners will be eligible for the planners post. Whether in private sector, in NGO or in multilateral organizations, wherever. So that was somehow I could not. I was tired, giving presentation after presentation, presentation after presentation. That's a, I mean, but they had not included that thing under the reforms. अगर वो लिखते ना कि एक टाउन एंड कंट्री प्लानर्स बिल भी रिफॉर्म में होता, they did. And नीति आयोग रिपोर्ट also recommends. अब नीति आयोग रिपोर्ट जो हमने बनाई थी, in fact, I was discussing with the faculty members. That was the first attempt at the central government level where a comprehensive report was there, which actually looked into the problems and prospect of the urban planning profession. उसमें एकेडमिक्स का भी डिस्कस किया था, उसमें प्रोफेशनल प्रैक्टिस का भी डिस्कस किया था पूरा. प्लीज गो थ्रू दैट, इट्स अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग रिपोर्ट. So they used to call me Niti Ayog and I used to give all the inputs like nobody had the data on master planning. तो master plan का data आपको कहीं नहीं मिलेगा, only TCP में मिलेगा. I had painstakingly I had prepared the data and also the how many sanction post and how many filled up post. पूरा डाटा उसमें था मेरे पास. And that was incorporated in the Niti Aayog report and the recommendations which we prepared. उसमें one of the recommendations was that you need to have a all India town planner services. If you have, you have engineering services, you have economic services, you have geologist services, why can't we have a all India town planning service? If you have that town planning services, you may say that it's a state subject. How a person, from North India can work in Kerala? But bureaucrats also, IAS officer, he will, if a person from Punjab, if he works in Kerala, in 1 year he will be fluent in Malayalam. I have seen in Tamil Nadu, most of the work, that Anshul Mishra, he is a fluent, the chief secretary of Tamil Nadu, Mr. Shivdas Meena, under whom I worked for 3 years, he is now more of a Tamilian than Rajasthan. He when he will start counting the wonder and the boot, he will say like that. So it depends, but another disadvantage, just I want to tell that every state, they have their own policy, that domicile is there. Punjab ke Public Service Commission mein, if the post of 20 town planners comes or 50 town planners come, they will say the written, you should qualify that test in Punjabi. So you should be able to write Punjabi. So it's next to impossible. A Tamilian cannot get a job in Punjab Town Planning Department. Or similarly, a person from Punjab or Jammu Kashmir cannot get a job in Tamil Nadu. So it's a this thing. That's why if you have a all India town planning services, then you can have. Then the central government will actually post all the town planners wherever the town planning vacancies are there. But this is more of an utopian thought. Again, the all India town planning service too difficult. It has to be. The decision has to be taken at the highest level, at the Prime Minister office level. Even if there is a proposal, the state government will oppose. They will say, why we should have. We have our own state town planning officers, and they are well conversant with the language, the local conditions, so there is no need. But how IS works, वो तो उनका कोई problem नहीं है. Wherever they want to work, this we had proposed there is also a high level committee on urban planning which I am assisting. In that report also, it has been strongly recommended we need to have a centralized services, we need to have a town and country planning bill, but it depends how ministry actually agrees to. Chaliye, next please. I think I have already taken 30 minutes. Sir, I think I'll have to. Yeah, TDR also. This also becomes a very interesting thesis topic. Now, as a planner, transferable development rights, you kindly think, those who are in urban planning 3rd semester, please think that how we can map, typically it's a transfer of potential from one place to another place. Is it possible? Can you map those areas? Typically we have the sending area and the receiving area. Is it possible to map that? How from the core area to the fringe areas, how the potential can be really transferred? This becomes a thesis topic, and this has become a reform where every state is thinking the transferable development rights. In this, Telangana, Maharashtra are the two states where really they have demonstrated. Telangana town planning department, they have also gone for digital, the digital transferable development rights. So wherein based on the mapping, they are actually ensuring through digital, all online. That is one of the state. And those who are interested, you should definitely explore about the benefits of the town transferable development right. Is it a tool wherein you can ensure a planned development? So here also, if policy बना दो 50 crores, just make policy क्या है, policy they will take somewhere. आजकल states क्या होता है ना, of course they can modify, but lot of states they will copy paste. We have seen that lot of copy pasting has been done. So if you notify, you get another 100 crores. If you start practicing, then cumulative 50 plus 100, you get 150 crores. So these are all incentives. But again, incentives backed by, अगर वो किया है तो मिलेगा, नहीं किया तो नहीं मिलेगा. You have to show the documentary evidence. Township policy, if you are prepared, please give the copy of that. It's not that ये हवा में नहीं बात है. You the state government have to give evidence that we have done this and we are going to implement this. And सारे स्टेट जितने भी थे सबको प्रेजेंटेशन के लिए बुलाया. 1 घंटे का प्रेजेंटेशन हुआ. All states chief town planners and they, with their principal secretaries, they have made the presentation. Some other states have done well. Some other state like Northeast state, for them it is very difficult. Now Northeast state बोलता है मैं कैसे TDR करूँ, पता नहीं. How I can do this one TOD when we don't have any rapid, there is no transit. How I can have a transit oriented development? How I can TPS तो हो ही नहीं सकता कहते हैं. That the land pooling, because most of the they have certain tribal regulations, land regulations. They have total private ownership, wherein it is very difficult to convince the landowners to come for land pooling. But some of the states like Sikkim, Assam, and Manipur, they are making some progress in that. But it's tough, बोलने से नहीं होता. Central government बोल दिया हो गया. To ascertain the local conditions. You should know कि भी कितने planners हैं. मणिपुर में अब 4 planners हैं, वो पूरे state का क्या करेगा बेचारा. And lot of state town planners, they are actually engaged in litigation. ये कोर्ट केस है. हरियाणा में देखो town planners, they will go, अरे भाई मुझे कोर्ट की hearing है, I have to go there. Then he forget about the development plan. And again, this development plan methodology also varies from state to state. Haryana will have 10-page development plan, whereas some of the states, Madhya Pradesh, have gone comprehensive development plan. I used to argue, कि 10 पेज का यार मुझे नहीं पता what is carrying capacity of your city, what measures you have taken for climate resilience, what measures you have taken for enhancing the the credibility of investments in your city. क्या मेरा city अगर मैं आपको 1000 crore देता हूँ, can you convert that 1000 crores 30,000 crores? I was discussing, मैं last year I was involved in first semester study of integrated. So I forced one student to prepare a financial capital investment plan and financial operating plan. We should not be allergic. थोड़ा सा ये finance जब सीख लोगे ना, if you ODP exercise, which city you have first semester, which city you have selected for ODP? Then an ODP exercise in the first semester, huh? But any second semester have they taken ODP? ODP, which city you have taken? Okay. Okay. What is the area of that? Total area. 468. It is around 4.6 square kilometer, na? You can do that. See, whatever the proposals you have to make has to be converted into DPR. So DPR mein you do the costing, make a capital investment plan. If your area development plan has got the prospective period of 20 years, 4 phase में डाल दो. Say for example, your 4.6 per kilometer requires around 500 crore rupees. So 500 crore rupees, for you estimate physical infrastructure कितना चाहिए, social के लिए कितना चाहिए. So that first semester integrated, of course I have got the mindset of SPA Delhi, please. आप मत करो, मैं वहाँ पे उधर चला गया SPA भोपाल, मैंने कहा यार फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर यू आर नॉट गिवन ODP किया नहीं और आप लोकल एरिया प्लान में जाने, ये कैसे हो सकता है? First of all, you should understand what is master plan, and then you disaggregate master plan to zonal plan, and zonal plan can be disaggregated into local area plan. So sorry, I don't want to get into this thing because our faculty members are competent enough to decide guide. But yeah, this you'll have to really have need to develop an understanding. अब आप that's what I said in the first integrated पर एकता ना मैं वही पूछा था where is that girl I forgotten your name then he said Ekta. So what happened in first semester I forcibly told the student I said don't अभी faculty members को भूल जाओ अब ये table sir I don't have any details of social infrastructure कितना financial implication होगा suppose if I proposing hospital PSCs and all but we don't know how we will estimate. I said you estimate for physical infrastructure. So there is a report called High Powered Expert Committee HPEC report. So her student should every planner should read that HPEC report 2012, which gives an idea how to make an estimates. In that, for entire country, 39 lakh crore rupees were estimated to ensure all the physical infrastructure facilities for 7,399 odd towns. So that gives an idea that how you need to make estimate. If you do, see, professionally speaking, when you prepare a master plan, if you are making a presentation to an administrator, he will not be interested in land use and all those things. Or zoning regulations, या development codes, he will not be interested. He will say कितना proposal बनाया और कितना implications है. Say for example, you are from which city? Indo, हाँ? Delhi. Delhi को भूल जाओ. You are from? Huh? Vijayawada. So if I prepare a DP, I should know your municipal commissioner and the vice chairman of development authority should have an idea that how much in next 20 years we'll have to spend for augmenting this existing infrastructure or creating a new infrastructure. So this if FOP and CIP becomes an integral part, some of the faculty members disagree, but I think that this will only add value to your analysis. It's up to you. But again, वो ये ना जब MBA और वो क्या है कि वो स्मार्ट सिटी में MBA को इसलिए लिया कि because they'll be very good in monitoring the progress. Why the hell planner cannot do the monitoring? हम नहीं कर सकते monitoring, हम बिल्कुल अच्छा कर सकते हैं. Yes, next please. वो बेचारे को भी नींद आ गया वो कर करके. Sorry. Next please, quickly. Now natural ecosystems. This also becomes. My hand is. Promotion of spawn cities for sustainability. Have you gone a Niti Aayog report on water report of Niti Aayog, wherein what they have observed or what they have analyzed that if monsoon fails consecutively for 2 or 3 years, 20 cities, 10 plus cities of India will run out of water. There will be no water because you will have indiscriminate extraction of groundwater. So why? And in fact, हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी तो he is obsessed ना. वो बोलते हैं कि भी you have to develop the ponds, you have to rejuvenate the water bodies. So what happened? I was fortunate enough to attend a meeting. This was 2022. In May, there was a meeting under the chairmanship of Prime Minister. He said that let us pledge that every district 75 water bodies will be rejuvenated. So for urban areas also, then our ministry decided why can't we have internship program for all the planners. So let the students go to the water bodies which are in a bad shape and let them make proposal for rejuvenating the water bodies. So उसमें it was during May, June, July. So they gave, and then I told that who will go in this spring hot, then when 45 degrees centigrade, वो कौन बेचारा बच्चा जाएगा उधर water body में करने के लिए, surveys करने के लिए. Then with all they agreed, they granted some 2.5 crore rupees, which was transferred to AICT, and around 150 institutions. I don't know about SPA Vijayawada because I told at that time Abdul Razak that there is a proposal. So SPA Bhopal and SPA Delhi, those who were doing under my guidance internship, so they got involved in that and they got around 10 to 20,000 rupees. So every institution got around 5 to 6 lakh rupees for doing internship for the water conservation, rejuvenation of water bodies. Under the Amrit mission also, you please, my humble request would be, you should keep on browsing the Ministry of Housing Urban Affairs website. It's a lot of information, you through dashboard you can get a lot of information. And I know that for your thesis work definitely you will be browsing. Agar Amrit mein, the Amrit 2 version is water centric mission. Why water is of paramount importance is that, again, if rainfall, if because of the climate change impact, it's quite possible a lot of cities will not have. We used to even Chennai also to have severe water. It used to get water through this wagons. The yes, and in Bangalore also it used to get one once in a 3 days water supply. So that's why reiterating the Amrit vision, Amrit 2 vision, which is water sector mission, we have said if the state cities, if they can have water bodies to be integrated with the master plan, you need to map all the water bodies and you should work for sponge cities, how they can really absorb the water. And along all the river, we have large number of cities along the river bank, along the river. So what you are going to preserve or conserve the floodplains of the rivers going within the city. So you can have a biodiversity plan. You are all aware of coastal regulation zone, CRZ, environmental planning. How many are there? CRZ, you are aware of CRZ, na? Are you aware of river regulation zone? Is there any RRZ? वो है ही नहीं, कोई नहीं. So that's why a lot of floodplains you will see in the cities that there has been unprecedented construction activity. So from our side, we proposed. Actually, that river regulation zone was also formulated, but state government never bothered. Minister Environment Forest, they circulated the draft. They never bothered to give the comments because there are certain Western interests. Because these all floodplains are, the huge source of sand and all those things. The illegal mining takes place. So somewhere we have, from our Ministry of side, we have recommended that you need to ensure along the river, you need to have a prohibited zone, then you need to have a regulated zone. So depending upon the width of report, the city can really decide. So here the emphasis that you need to integrate blue and green spaces along the river, or you rejuvenate the water bodies, have the buffer, ensure biodiversity park along the rivers. That will ensure the integration of blue and green. And here also 10 cities, if they are under Amrit, they get straight away. If they say that we have taken this step for integrating blue and green space, they get 50. So like that, different amount is there. Work on water bodies, promotion of riverfront development. Now riverfront development, Sabarmati is the best example. Is it desirable? That kind of development for all our rivers? That is your left to you. You do, if you want to take the thesis, please do that. Creation of urban forest, this is also latest. Delhi has got the presence of Aravalis, revenant of Aravalis, thousands of years old. So those kind of areas, if you have them in cities, you need to convert those areas into, a ridge hai ya mountain, like it is surrounded by this thing. So you strengthen and create urban forest and take money from the central government. Next, please. I think I am almost. Next, please. I'm finished. Oh yeah. Sorry, I have taken more time. Next, please. Next, please. हो गया, conclusion हो गया. Sorry, I have taken more time, but only that just want to create more awareness. Next, please. I think it is next. So this next. It has come. हाँ गया वो. अरे वो पीछे चला गया. It has gone back. This is just these are all. Now every city has been advised to incorporate this. The transportation network, mobility, blue and green infrastructure, economic planning, which is very much important. Economic planning and the land use plan. This, if they include these things in the master plan or development plan, they get 50 crores. Next, please. Next, please. So of course, the outcomes in the last year, 15 states participated very enthusiastically. This year also all the states have participated. Last year, out of scheme, Out of out of 6,000 crore, almost 4,800 crores were disbursed to the states. Now, of course, impact is there. 13 states have implemented. 15 में से 13 states they implemented. 2,530 cities actually 30 cities have gone online building permission system. And of course, 12 states increased land use efficiency by removal of contradiction. Next, I think this, we are coming to the conclusion. Next, please. Yes, 13 states have adopted the affordable housing. 10 states have come up with a TOD policy. 11 states notified TRDR. 11 cities prepared lab, and 11,000 water bodies being surveyed. You know, पूरे इंडिया में 11,000 water bodies were surveyed, and now all the water bodies will be rejuvenated. Next, please. Yeah, this was around out of 6,000, 4,500 crores were disbursed. This year we expect that all the 15,000 crore rupees taken by the state government. Next, please. I think we can conclude. Of course, the impact is that states are advertising, filling up the post. Assam, UP, Bihar, 3 states already they have advertised the post. Similarly, they are revising their bylaws, better land use efficiency, land monetization is taken up. That some of the states have really demonstrated. Then, of course, through area-based strategy, bringing the ease of living, ensuring the reduction in interstate disparities, ease of doing business in construction, and enhancing the quality of life through the incorporation of various components of master plan. Next, please. Thank you very much for your kind patience. You know, they have given me half an hour, but I have taken one and one. So, but let me I available.
Thank you, sir. Your presentation was very helpful and informative that has broadened our understanding on urban planning. Also, the plan implementation mechanisms like TOD, TTR, and
Now it's time to show our appreciation by felicitating our chief guest. Sri R. Srinivasa, may we kindly request you to come forward to receive this token of our gratitude. Now we shall take a small break of 10 minutes before we kick start with our cultural performances. Refreshments have been provided outside. Please feel free to indulge in.
So this is a short 10-minute break. So after the break, do come. We have cultural programs and prize distribution. So please do come back.
Hello.
We request all the audience to come back to the exhibition hall. We'll be beginning with the culturals shortly. We kindly request all the audience to be seated. We'll be starting with the culturals shortly. We request everyone to be seated. So, as now we get ready to be captivated by the artistic abilities of our students as they present a variety of cultural performance.
Let's call upon the stage Devalina from MEPM first year for the first performance, Buzzing with Classical Beats.
দেখিয়া সহস্র নয়ন ভিজে প্রভু জনার্দন দেখিয়া সহস্র নয়ন ভিজে প্রভু জনার্দন ধরিলা সত ক্ষীরে পায়া যমুনার কুল দেখি হুমিউ উল পায়া যমুনার কুল দেখি হুমিউল বহু দেব ভয় ভইলা মনে মনে দেখি বাত দিলা মাঝে পার হইলা যদুর যে দেখি বাত দিলা মাঝে পারে ভইলা যদুর যে দীন গোপালে রহুনে দীন গোপালে রহুনে গগনে গরজে ঘন কুলেলো নারায়ণ চলে বহুদেব ধীরে ধীরে চলে বহুদেব ধীরে ধীরে চলে বহুদেব ধীরে ধীরে
That was a very beautiful performance. Thank you so much, Devlina. Without any further ado, let the music transport you to a world of rhythm and melody. Welcoming our exceptionally talented musicians who are ready to take us on a mellifluous journey.
everyone. This small try of Hindustan present.
Both the ragas are Rag Mia Malhar and Rag Megh Malhar, and it's a perfect opportunity because it's already raining outside. So. Avanare Gavat Megha Avanare Megha Avanare Maje गावत मेघा परमेश्वर धनि सारे साथी सावन रिमझिम गावत मेघा निरमल धवल पाकमन गुरु का निरमल धवल पाकमन गुरु का रिझावत सब सप्त सुरन में सावन रे गावत मेघा सावन रे मजे सावन रे मजे सावन रे मजे गावत मेघा गरज आज मेघ घनन घनन छाए गरज गरज आज मेघ घनन घनन छायो रे धमक धमक चमके बिजुरी कहत है ऋतराज आयो रे गरज गरज आज मेघ धमक चमक छायो रे धमक धमक बिजुरी कहत है ऋतराज आयो रे इस ऋत के संग रंगी हरित रंग रे धरा सब बिहंग आज डंग देख रंग है धरा इस ऋत में आज तो मैं अंग अंग रंग ले तार के जनकार छेड़ संग में मृदंग ले घुमन घुमन काली घटा रुद्र रूप धर धर के धरती का रोम रोम धर के धर के धर के गरज गरज आज मेघ घनन घनन छायो रे धमक धमक चमके बिजुरी कहत है ऋतराज आयो रे Thank you.
Thank you for the mesmerizing performance. Now get ready to witness a powerful and thought provoking performance right here. Put your hands together for a drama performance by our students.
If Devlina is around and Namita and Nishita are around, and Nishita. Devlina, we come for another round of photo for the dance and the music performers too. Devlina is from first year, and you want to introduce your art form, want to tell about your art form. And we have Namita and Nishchita. Namita and from BARC second year and MARC second year urban design. So
Now that's the way we celebrate the art. We would like to extend our heartfelt appreciation to all the talented performers who have put in their time, effort, and creativity to make this evening so culturally enriching. Your performances have truly added a special charm to this evening. As we near the end of our Urban October, we are here to honor the winners of our student competitions. Our students have demonstrated exceptional talent and dedication in the pursuit of urban knowledge. I kindly request our esteemed dignitaries to join us on the stage for the prize distribution ceremony.
Beginning with our first event, we have poster making competition on the topic Urban Vision Building Partnership for Sustainable Development, providing problem solving measures which aims to understand how SDG 17 can be integrated at local level scenarios to implement SDG 11.
Sorry, I did not hand over. So the first prize winners are the team Urban Unique or Urbaneek. That is Gunjan Maheshwari, Dipangshi Dasgupta, and Ishita Gupta. I kindly request our head of the department, Adnaran sir, and our chief guest, Srinivas sir, to hand over the prize to the winners. So Gunjan is from B Plan third year. We have Dipangshi from MUD second year and Ishita from MUD second year. Please give them a round of applause. So the evaluation of these work was done today morning. The second prize winners are Team Urvi. So we have Satyam Upadhyay from MUD second year, Bhuvaneshwari from MUD second year, Sri Shravya from MURP second year, Karthik Harish from Sustainable Architecture second year. So I request the team to come and collect their prizes. So every team has equal number of prizes. There was a small hiccup in the second prizes. Second prizes are like we have power banks which we are giving. The online delivery, we got empty packets. So we had to return that. The prizes are on the way, guys. Don't worry, you'll get your prize. So we have with us Satyam, Bhuvaneshwari, Karthik, and Sri Shravya. Thank you, sir. Third prize is shared. We have two teams. The first team is we have Urban Dash, Team Urban Dash, Harshni Gumudavalli, B Plan third year, Sheikh Sarfraz, B Plan fourth year, Anushruta Kundu from MTP second year, Transport second year, and Deepak from again Transport second year. Again, here also everyone will get one, just that the numbers did not match. We have one more team winning the third prize, that is the Oracas. So we have the team members Ravi Vats from B Plan third year, Disha Jain, MURP second year, Taruni Joshi, MEPM second year, and Vartika Agarwal, MURP second year. Guys, please come on to the stage to collect your prizes. Again, here also everyone will get. Have four members. On behalf of the other team members, you can also collect your prize. Ravi, your prize is waiting for you. Sir, that was third prize. We have a special mention prize, Mr. Prithviraj from MUD second year. Prithviraj will get his prize because every entry was equally good. We did not feel like ending it at the third prize. We thought that everyone should get a prize. He'll get his prize very soon. So we got 5 entries for it, and all 5 entries were equally good. It was very tough time for our jury members to decide which one is the better. That's why everyone got the prize. So moving on to the photography competition, Shravya will be telling what is the competition all about, and then I'll announce it.
Then we had the photography competition, Urban Kaleidoscope, which was about capturing the diversity of city life, showcasing the unique natures of city through the lens of camera.
First prize winner is Kezia from BR third year. Have Kezia here. Can anyone collect on behalf of Kezia? Anyone can come. Team Tasveer can represent and collect on her. The winning entries are put up on the last row, the winning photographs. The second prize goes to Snigdha from B Plan fourth year. The third prize is shared. It's between Prajwal from BR fifth year and Hrithwik from BR third year. We have Prajwal and Hrithwik here. Okay, so again, there we have both prizes together. Sorry, they have class, that's why they couldn't. There is a special prize, mention prize here, Miss Harshni, B Plan third year. So there were 19 entries for this, and we have selected 5 top entries, and all the 5 entries are put up. Thank you very much, you sir. Had 2 competitions.
We would once again like to congratulate to all the winners. And now to conclude our event, we would like to invite our coordinator for the Urban October event, Rajiv Sir, Assistant Professor, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Kavya. So with this, we bring the celebrations of World Town Planning Day at Vijayawada to a close, and my privilege to extend our sincere gratitude have made here and made this program a huge. First and foremost, I take this opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude and appreciation to our distinguished guest, R. Srinivas sir, from the former head of Metropolitan Planning Division, who have shared his insights and expertise, making this event informative and inspiring. Sir did speak on the major reforms brought out in the budget, and then he was focusing specifically on strengthening urban planning ecosystem, human resource. That was the first topic that. Then we moved into implementation of TPS and LAP schemes, and then we moved into modernization of building bylaws, then into promoting in situ rehabilitation, and then further into TOD, and then the way that policy, the national TOD framed, and then I had entered. So sorry that I apologize to the audience. I had to rush Sir to come to the presentation, wherein Sir did mention on strengthening NBS through urban planning, discussing on spawn cities, the need for urban, how we can start thinking on these. And also we did have a discussion on TDR as a plan. Sum up long discussion that we had. Sir, your contributions that you made for coming all the way from Delhi till Pacific has been very invaluable for us and in our understanding of the reforms have to bring in urban planning towards. Thank you, sir. I also extend my heartfelt thanks to Professor Dr. Ram because of his urgency had to, because of which part of this year in person. Thank you very much for your support. I also thank Professor Dr. Ayan Tarafdar, our Dean of Academics, for helping us construct this idea of celebrate. Thank you very much. Helping us ideate what. I thank our head of the Department of Planning and the patron, Adnar, the HOD and the Dean PND for spearheading and taking up this initiative to celebrate this important day. Thank you very much. And also I thank Arpan for helping run this. And I should not leave lot many have helped me. I have got 4 of my GATE students. I have put them through a difficult task of helping me at every stage for past 4 days of validatory. Started off with urban World Habitat Day, then standards at city, and we had and announcements and the submission. Then we have today, that is what. Thank you very much. I have my GATE students. I thank Swatika, Sanskriti, Vyas, and me supporting me. The initiative. Thank you very much. I also thank our performers who stepped in at the last moment with clubs in. So from the different clubs, I got a lot of support. Baira was and the competitions. Then Club Tasveer was also involved in the competition very much. And we have from Club 29, which was represented by Hazarika Devlina, MEPM first year with her mesmerizing performance. I thank Namita and Nishchita from BR second year and MR second year of Club Ritmo. And also I thank our large group of Club Monologue who, for putting up this performance. Thank you guys. It means a lot to all of us because I know that it is the end of the semester. You have your but you found time for it. Thank you very much. Bottom of my heart. So last but not the least, we would like to thank all our audience. It specifically, attentively. Some of you might have dozed off, but Baki sessions, at least all the other 3 days also hope that listen. So thank you very much, students. I thank all my department faculty from architecture department, all other urban planning and okay. Your presence has made this event a dynamic and engaging platform for the exchange of ideas and knowledge. As we conclude today's World Town Planning Day celebrations, we carry this the insights that we've learned, inspirations that we have our work and city builder. Together, we can continue to shape the more sustainable, resilient, and inclusive Thank you very much to all who have been part of this. Thank you. I forgot. I have to thank all the IT who have been all the. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. With that, we conclude today's event. Once again, I thank everyone who has joined us for this event today. Now, I request everyone to rise for the national anthem.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
As we draw the curtains to today's event, I would like to express gratitude for all your active participation and insightful contributions. Your engagement, passion, and dedication have truly been shown. And we look forward to carrying the same momentum to the future. Once again, thank you all.